Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and I had to turn on the camera today to show you some really awesome leather goods. And we're going to start today with a really special piece of Cobalt Blue Dublin on a private stock Johnny the Fox. A lot of people that are already familiar with the Dublin leather might be familiar with colors like English tan and black Dublin that we already offer. And today I'm putting up some Cobalt Blue Dublin Johnny the Foxes. In fact, I snuck these up a couple days ago, so a few people have sneakily picked them up without me announcing them. The Cobalt Blue Dublin is a really great shade, and it's got a really great depth of color. So if you look at the outside here, it has this really nice blue shade, sort of like a navy blue, a little bit darker. But on the undertones of this leather, as you can see, as I flex the leather down the spine here, we're revealing a little bit more of these aqua blue undertones. So it's got a really great depth of color. And on the inside of this wallet, this is what makes it a private stock offering. We've got 100% Cobalt Blue Dublin. So Cobalt Blue on the outside, Cobalt Blue Horsehide on the inside. So I do have a couple 100% Cobalt Blue Dublin Johnny the Foxes currently available on the private stock page of our website. So speaking of private stock, I'm sneaking up a couple more things. This is something that we've never done before. This is a 100% whiskey shell cordovan Johnny the Fox. Just a remarkable color here. And when we first started our company about 11 years ago now, this was sort of the color to have. Whiskey shell cordovan was not being produced very frequently, and in fact today it's still not produced very often. It's a tough color for Horween to impart onto the shells because they need very naturally light and very clean shells to achieve this sort of golden yellowy, like a little bit darker than a natural shell cordovan color. And it's tough for them to achieve, but take a look here. Really great shade. And if you were to compare this with natural shell cordovan, the whiskey shell cordovan is definitely more golden, has a little bit more yellow to it, and it's slightly darker. And let's take a look at the inside here. This is what makes this wallet extra, extra special. We've got naturally thin whiskey shell cordovan for the card holders here. And it's tough for us to get just naturally thin pieces of shell. You could imagine if we used this thickness on the outside of the wallet for all of these interior card parts, this wallet would just be way, way, way too thick. So we have to be very patient to get these naturally thin pieces of shell. And on a rare shell cordovan color, like the whiskey shell cordovan, it's very, very tricky to get. Something you might notice on the card holders here, there is a little bit of a color range to the card holders on the whiskey shell cordovan Johnny the Foxes. I think we have 3 of these available on the private stock page right now. And I'm really excited to show you this guy here. This is a prototype that we've been working on for a bit. We wanted to get this released for Mother's Day, but we weren't able to get it done just in time. All I have right now is a couple prototypes to show you. So the first one here, this is sort of like our long wallet with a snap closure. So you can see on the front that flap goes all the way over the top, and it's definitely larger than everything else we make. It's a little bit larger than our long wallet that you might be familiar with. So on the inside of this wallet here, we're just going to call this a prototype for now. We've got 3 card slots on the left, 3 on the right, and then 1 larger slot in the back here. This will fit folded cash. You'll also notice the sort of delamination that's happening in the center here. And that's because we've laminated 2 pieces of English tan Dublin together, and it's sort of getting a little bit of a pipey look down the center here. But that's because, again, we have English tan Dublin on the outside, English tan Dublin as a liner, and then English tan for all of these card holders. And I want to give you a look at the edge of this wallet because it'll give you a sense of how we made it. So this is one big continuous piece of leather that goes from the flap all the way around the back, and then it folds up the front to form this first card slot. So if you look at the edge again, you can see how we've wrapped that around the edge of all these different card holders. I do have one of these prototypes available in the English tan Dublin, and we wanted to see what it would be like in shell. So we've made something really, really cool. Check this out. This is raw amaretto shell cordovan with a Western texture. And that happens to be my favorite shell cordovan color with my favorite texture on it. And again, we've got that one big continuous piece of leather that forms the flap, the back, and then the front card holders of this design. And we've laid that on top of something really cool. I think this is a excellent color combination. So again, raw amaretto with a Western texture on top of some marbled ultraviolet with a hatch grain texture. And that is really, really cool. So we've sort of done a color combination there, and then we've accented all those colors on the edge of this wallet also. So we've got ultraviolet hand stained edges on this wallet. And we're going to call this a prototype again. We're still working on a fun gangster name for this one, but hopefully we'll be seeing this one coming soon. Let me know what you think of this design. My wife has actually been asking me for this wallet, and I know that Dan's wife has been using one of these as a little bit of a prototype also. Okay, get ready for this one. I think this is some of the best belts that we have ever made. So I want to show you this here. We've got a 2-layer Chrome Excel belt. And on the outside of this one, this is navy Chrome Excel. We've got that stitched on top of some natural latigo for the liner. And I think those go very, very nicely together. We also have an antique brass buckle, the teardrop shape holes. And because this is a 2-layer belt, we have stitching all along the border. So we sort of played off this idea and riffed on it for a little bit, made a few different versions of these 2-layer belts. So the first one here, single layer of stitching, 2 layers of leather. This navy Chrome Excel has a hand-stained blue edge, which turned out beautifully. And I only have one of these navy Chrome Excel belts available in a size 36. Another 2-layer belt here to show you. This one is black Chrome Excel. Let me show you the look at the outside first. Black Chrome Excel with a cream stitch to sort of play off the natural latigo for the liner on the inside. And that stitch goes all the way around the border of this belt to sew those 2 layers of leather together. Let me give you a closer look at the buckle end of this. And I think the black and tan sort of vibe here worked out very, very nicely. You can see the black and tan on the back side of this. So again, black Chrome Excel here, and this is the natural latigo underneath. I actually have 2 of these black Chrome Excel belts available. One is a size 36 and one is a size 38. A couple more belts to show you. This one turned out very nicely also. For some reason, this natural latigo color seems to pair very well with just about everything. So this one here, color number 8 Chrome Excel leather. We just had a color number 8 Dublin event that went very, very well for us. And I'm really excited for everybody to receive their color 8 Dublin wallets. So if you've received yours, let me know how it's wearing in. I thought that leather was some of the best Dublin that I've ever seen. This is a little bit different. You can see the Chrome Excel here has much less grain character when you compare it to the Dublin. So if you do have a piece of Dublin nearby, take a very close look at it and you'll see all that very fine grain character. The Dublin has some of the nicest grains that I've seen. The Chrome Excel grain is polished in, so it's very, very flat and very, very smooth and has this really nice subtle sheen to it because that grain has been polished. You can see me playing with it in the light here. That's what Chrome Excel should look like. The Dublin will have a similar luster. It's a little brighter on the Dublin, but there's much more texture of that grain character on the Dublin leather. So I do have this color number 8 Chrome Excel belt, and this one is available in a size 36. All right, 2 more belts to look at, and I think these are extra special. I did a little bit of extra stitching on these. They're pretty similar to the last ones that we looked at. So this here is black Chrome Excel. Again, very flat, very polished in and smooth grain character. Big difference here is we've done 2 rows of stitching for these belts. And I just love how this black and tan combination is going together. So take a look at the liner again. We've got natural latigo on the back, 2 rows of stitching along all the edges of the belt. And on the top side here, this is black Chrome Excel. The buckle is a solid brass buckle in an antique brass finish. And then on the adjustment size holes, we have teardrop shaped holes, and the center hole on this belt, this is 36 inches. So if you wear about a size 34-inch jean, the 36 will fit you very well, or it should fit you very well. And before we get to the last item of the day, one more belt here to look at. Let's talk about sizing just very quickly. If you want to know what size belt to pick up from us, take off your current belt and measure it from where the leather wraps around the buckle to whatever hole that you wear. And whatever that number is, let's say it's a 34, that 34 would be to the center hole of our belts. So our belts cover 5 different hole sizes. In the center of this particular belt, we have 36 here. It will go down to 35 and then 34 in the smallest hole, and then 37 and 38 in the largest hole. So there's a little bit of coverage, a little bit of wiggle room. These 2-layer belts will not stretch as much as our single-layer belts, so that's something worth noting. But let's take a look at the last belt. I love how this one turned out. It's sort of very complementary colors all around. Natural Chrome Excel on the exterior, and we've got 2 rows of stitching again, and this is a cream color stitch, which works very nicely with the natural latigo underneath. And there's something about these 2 rows of stitching that gives it a little bit more of like an industrial vibe, very much like a worker's belt, and I really like the look of this one. The buckle again is the same solid brass with an antique brass finish. And then on the adjustment holes, these are also the teardrop shaped holes. The natural chrome excel here, this is size 36 to the middle hole. So thanks for checking out everything in the video today. I'm so excited about everything that we're doing right now. These belts are turning out great. We've got so many more great things coming. The Cobalt Blue Dublin, 100% Cobalt Blue Dublin, Johnny the Fox. Couldn't be more excited for this one. It's just a beautiful leather. Definitely want to stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you can, because next week I've got Nick Horween stopping by the shop. We're going to do a live stream. We're planning for Wednesday evening, probably around 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and we're going to be releasing some dead stock, B stock, and even some sample belts that Alden has made a few decades ago that Nick and his dad Skip have been collecting for years. So we'll be selling those on a live event next Wednesday on the channel here. Thanks again for checking out everything in the video. Let me know what you think of this prototype design here. And until next time, hope you guys have a good one.